uncommon denominators. Um, we're going to learn how to make our denominators the same on both fractions of the addition problem. And so I just want to do a little bit of a review before we start into our lesson learning objective for today. So let's start out with just talking about a fraction just alone for a minute. So a fraction is, as we recall, the numerator over the denominator. So the numerator, anybody can tell me what the numerator tells us on the fraction? Well, the numerator tells us the number of parts being considered. Parts are being considered. So we know, let's just write down any fraction. 1 over 2, 1/2. So we know that the numerator is on top of the fraction bar, and the denominator is on the bottom of the fraction bar. So we have 1 over 2, so the 1 is going to be our numerator, and the denominator is going to be 2. So the denominator is telling us the number of equal parts in the area model. So what I mean by area model is, if we draw a picture, we draw us a big box and then draw a line through the center of the box horizontally. And that right there will show us 2 equal parts of that fraction. But now our numerator says it's 1, and the numerator is the number of parts being considered. So the number of parts being considered, we shade in one box. And therefore, it gives us 1 shaded out of 2 equal boxes. Therefore, we have 1/2. That is the fraction. So we know that we have to have we know we have to have an equal denominator. When we add, right? Like, we have to have the same denominator when we add. So fractions that have the same denominator are said to have a common denominator. That's another term that we would use of saying the same denominator would be the common. So an example of a common denominator is, let's say that we have 1/4 plus 3/4. So our common denominator is 4. That means that 1/4, if we draw a area model again, we split it up into 4 equal parts and only shade one box, one part of that box. That right there will give us 1/4. Now on the 3/4, we draw with another area model and we split it up into 4 equal parts. But now we have 3 out of 4 parts that are shaded. So we shade in 3 parts inside the box. And that right there gives us 3/4. which is equal to 4 out of 4. That means all equal parts are shaded, which gives us a whole, which is equal to 1. That right there says that all 4 equal parts of the box is shaded. And that is the answer to the addition of fraction with the common denominator. So now, since we've reviewed on how to add fractions with common denominators, what do you think we do when we add fractions with uncommon denominators or different denominators? We have different denominators. We have 1/2 plus 3/5. So to show the area formation, we put it in area formation, area model again. So on 1/2 we split the box in 1 and 2 equal parts. In 3/5 we split the box in 5 equal parts. So we got to shade in 1, and then over here we got to shade in 3. Well, as we noticed, there are different denominators, and so basically we have to put this area model into this area model, and this area model into this area model. And what I mean by that is we split the area model of 3/5 in the right draw a line through the horizontal line through the 3/5 area model, and then we draw 5 lines in the 1/2 area model to make 5 equal parts. So now since we made it into common denominator, how many equal parts do we have now? We have 10 correctly. So we know that 10 is going to be our common denominator. Now we want to say that how many parts do we have shaded? Well, in this part we have 5, because we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 10 shaded. In this box we have 6. We have 6 shaded part in the 10 equal part. Now, since we have common denominators and we found our numerators, we add our numerators. 5 plus 6 gives us 11. Our common denominator are going to stay the same. And to change this into an improper fraction, we will need to say, well, 11 will go into 10 one time, because 10 times 1 is 10, but we have 1 left over. So we need to say that we have 1/10. 1 and 1/10 is an improper fraction to the answer or the solution that we got out of this one. Thank you. Y'all have a great day, and thank you for working with me.